UFC 318 is this weekend, and I'm going to try to make some money watching it by playing Underdog Fantasy. If you don't know what Underdog Fantasy is, it's daily fantasy. You come in here, you say higher or lower than any of the numbers you see on the screen, you put a few of them together, and you can make a ton of money. They will even give you free money to play. The only thing you need to do is go to wewantpicks.com/underdog, use promo code WWP. Once you use that promo code, the free money options come pouring in. Make your deposit, get your free money, build yourself an entry, and then we're all living rich and free. UFC 318 has a ton of lines. We have 14 fights on this card. I am filming this Thursday afternoon. As of right now, here are the options. Depending on when you're watching this, you may have more options. I'm going to talk through some of these. Maybe you have some better options by the time you're watching this, but I don't like to wait too long because then the numbers go crazy. Go to wewantpicks.com/underdog. Use promo code WWP. You'll get the free money options. We'll make a couple of bucks on your first sign up. Everybody wins. Let's go ahead and build a UFC 318 Underdog Fantasy entry. We got a couple of options here. I am going to start with the main event. We could do the higher on the fight time. I do think this goes to a decision, but instead of doing the higher on the fight time, I'm just going to do Dustin doesn't win by finish. I'm just going to go that side. It's basically the same thing, but maybe there's some random fluke. Maybe some nonsense happens. I prefer to be a little safer and be like, I don't think Dustin's going to finish Max. I just don't see that happening. Other than the fact that Max was just finishing his last fight, he is insanely durable. This is at 155 pounds. So we're going to do the Dustin lower than a half a finish on that main event. You want a little more juice? Go ahead and do the higher on the fight time. I do think this goes to the distance, and I think there's just two guys that are going to get after it. If you go to the co-main event, Roman Kopylov, Paulo Henrique Costa. That's his middle name, Henrique? Jeez, I would have left that off the paperwork. Listen, we don't have a higher or lower finish line for these guys. If we do have one, do the lower. This will go to a decision as well, and obviously fight minutes aren't available at this moment in time. If you get fight minutes, do the more. I think this goes to a decision. Both are pretty tough. Both are pretty durable. Paulo Costa specifically is very durable, and unless he turns into a wrestler, he's not going to finish Roman Kopylov, right? Roman is too good of a striker to get finished by Paulo, so I imagine this is a good back-and-forth slug fight. Kevin Holland, Daniel Rodriguez. I was toying with the Kevin Holland line here. I do think he can win by finish. I think the higher could be a good play, but it's a little nerve-wracking because Kevin Holland is not the most reliable guy in the world. If this does end up on the ground, he can certainly finish. He might be able to finish on the feet, but Daniel is a very good striker as well. We're going to leave that line alone. Dan Ige, Patricio Pitbull. This fight, I'm almost positive we're not going to get a finish because Patricio Pitbull, despite being 38 years old, is insanely tough. Dan Ige is also insanely tough. This is another fight where if you have fight minutes, I would do the higher on fight minutes if that's at even money. Go ahead and get yourself, it's only 15-minute fight, and get yourself a couple extra points on that juice there. Michael Johnson, Daniel Zellhuber. Daniel Zellhuber is at plus money to get a finish here. I do think he finds a finish. Michael Johnson is old. He's been beat up. He's been finished before. Daniel Zellhuber is a finisher. We're going to leave it out because I'm trying to build a four-leg safer type entry here. But if you want to have some fun, you want to juice up your payout, you can go ahead and add the Daniel Zellhuber higher than a finish. Vinicius Oliveira is another line that I was a little tricky about. I do like the higher here at 1.72. I'm not playing it. I just like that those are the odds because I think Vinicius could potentially find a finish. This guy is all gas, no breaks. He gets in people's faces. He's good everywhere. Look what he did to Bernardo Sopai in that fight. If we work our way down, Brendan Allen, Marvin Vettori. This is the exact same thing we've been talking about. If we have a finish line, I'm doing the lower. Neither one of these guys are going to get finished in this fight. And if you have fight minutes, do the higher. Again, if you are watching this on Friday or even Saturday, you may have those options. Underdog slow rolls some of them because they don't want all the lines to come out at once because then there will be some bad ones and they're going to get cooked. So they slow roll the lines and then they adjust the ones that are already there. They release new ones. They adjust those. So if you get fight minutes or finish line, higher on fight minutes, lower on finish line in that fight, let's work our way down. I'm not touching Prado Veretennikov. We got a striker versus grappler in that matchup. Atabat Gutier should win by finish, but I'm never going to do the higher on a finish at less than plus money. But let's work our way down to Marcin Prochniak. 33.5 significant strikes is a very low number, and I'm going to show you why. It's at 33.5. If we go to my website, at WeWantPicks.com. I have a tool called the Fight Simulator. I'm going to click this Run Simulator button. What this is doing is it is simulating every fight on this card 100,000 times. And it's giving you the outputs of those simulations. It's also giving you the individual stats from those simulations. So what we're going to do is go to Marcin Prachniow, and we're going to take a look at how many significant strikes does the simulator think Marcin is going to land. On average, in the wins and the loss distribution, it is 51.1. Let's take this line. We'll move it over to the 33.5 line that we just had. This is close enough. And it is saying more than 60% of the time in these 100,000 simulations, he lands more strikes than that. So let's go back. That's a good line. We're going to take the 33.5. We're going to do the higher on Marcin Prachniows line. And we're not going to touch Brunno and Jackson. Brunno should win. Brunno should win by finish. But Jackson is an undefeated guy. He's very long. And those are the type of fights where we just don't quite know yet. If we go back a few weeks for Janata Deniz, he fought that goofy-looking heavyweight who stepped up on short notice in the UFC debut. Janata battered that guy's face, but he was tough, so he went nowhere, went to a decision. Could be a similar situation here. In a UFC debut, a UFC newcomer, an undefeated guy. I haven't quite seen him in a lot of trouble yet, so I'm not going to touch a finish or a line there. But if we go to the lady fight, the card opener, we got Carli Judice, Nicolle Caliari. This is striker versus grappler. And I'm going to do the lower on the finish for Carli Judice. I think Nicolle Caliari will have some success grappling, could get it to the ground. That'll burn some minutes. Nicolle Caliari is actually pretty tough as well. And I think as the fight goes longer, the danger on the Carli Judice side goes down. So I don't think Carli's going to finish Nicolle. If anything, the finish upside's on the other side because Nicolle has the submission gap to work with. This is going to go ahead and be our entry. I've already got it placed. Let's take a look. We've got Dan Ige to not get a finish. Carli Judice to not get a finish. Dustin Poirier to not get a finish. The outcomes on those fights don't matter as long as these people don't win by finish. And then Marcin Prachniow, we did the higher on significant strikes, and we used my event simulator at WeWantPicks.com to get that line. The most important thing here is get your free money. Get the free money. WeWantPicks.com/underdog. Promo code WWP. Good luck this weekend.